I love you.
But I love you.
But I love you. But I love you.
But I love you anyway. Forever.
Of course we love each other. We're family.
If you thought 6 brothers and diabolic lovers was a lot, yet Brothers Conflict has 13. Hi. In my last video, I decided to talk about diabolic lovers, but once I finished making that video, it made me think about Brothers Conflict. Today, I will be talking about Brothers Conflict, sadly. Let's revisit this thing together, because it's been a hot minute since I've watched Brothers Conflict, but it has definitely not left the dome. Let's get started. Ignore the fact that you can't see the text of these photos, like half the time. You can see flop. Okay, I'm pretty sure we can all see the flop written over Tsubaki's face, and that's because he is a flop, and everyone should know it. But he's not as big of a flop as Mr. What is his name? Oh my god. Futo Sakamaki? Futo Asahina. Okay, so first of all, what is Brothers Conflict? Now, Brothers Conflict is actually a light novel that was adapted into a game, which was adapted into the masterpiece of an anime that we now know. It's basically centered around our main character, whose name is Emma. Miss Emma, my queen. I really need to get a pointing stick. I'm gonna invest in a pointing stick soon. Actually, pause. Okay, so, Brothers Conflict centers around our main character, Emma. She's in her final year of high school when we find out that her dad is getting married to Miss Miwa, who is up here. Miss Miwa, this chick right here. What happens is she moves in with Miss Miwa's family, which just consists of 13 brothers. 13 boys. You're telling me she popped out 13 boys. That's the whole thing. All these boys, they fall in love with her and they want to win her over. Now, Miss Emma, of course, has her companion, Miss Julie. Julie is actually a boy. Julie is actually a talking squirrel, and Julie actually speaks fluent Japanese to Emma, and only Emma can understand it. And apparently one of the other brothers, but that's never elaborated on, and the whole talking to Julie thing is never elaborated on in the anime. I'm sure there is a good reason for it that is explained in the visual novels or in the games. A lot of the stuff that I consume is ridiculous, and I will accept it for its ridiculousness, okay? I don't need to, like, question it. Also, it's cute. Look, it has a little bow. Is that not cute? I'm giving up on this. I need to find a new talking stick. If they had made this show about 13 guys that just fell in love with Emma randomly, I could accept that. I could accept that, but no, they decided, oh, let's make it about 13 brothers that fell in love with their stepsister, who's barely out of high school. I think the creator was trying to think of a logical way to integrate a story about 13 people falling for this one girl, but like there's so many more options you could have chosen from. Something not sibling related, like that would be great. Just the bare minimum. I can tell that the creator clearly doesn't have siblings, because now why would you write this if you had siblings? If she does have siblings, I'm a bit concerned. So the brothers are from order of oldest to youngest: Masaomi, Ukyo, Kaname, Hikaru, Tsubaki, Azusa, Natsume, Louis, Subaru, Iori, Yusuke, Futo, and Wataru. Now Wataru is a literal child, like he's 10 years old, and there are other literal children, the other literal child being Futo, who is 15 years old, like that's incorrect. No way. No, because Futo is probably one of the most diabolical out of all of them. There is no 15-year-old that will act like Futo. I need breathing room. I need Miss Miwa to mother them, please. If you're wondering what the father figure is in all of this, he's dead. He died. Now, Our first episode begins with Emma heading to the condos. These guys are loaded, and I think if you have 13 brothers that can do about whatever career path they really want to go on, I think your family would be kind of loaded. Miss Miwa is actually a fashion designer, so yeah, that's cool. But they basically own a whole block, and as I was looking through Pinterest, I had found a bunch of like floor plans of their house, which is like, now why do we have this information? I have all of this information just sitting around here. That is crazy. I actually appreciate this because there's a lot of thought going into the architectural floor plan of their house. I appreciate that. Architectural Digest is coming for these floor plans as we speak. But anyways, she rocks up to the house, and then she just basically finally sees like the antics and how it sort of works around here. She's meeting all the brothers. She meets Masaomi and Wataru out front. They're helping her sort of unpack. Masaomi, he's the oldest, like I said. He's pretty chill. I'm pretty sure all of them have romantic roots in the game, which I have not played. I don't know if I told you that already, but I haven't played the games because, first of all, I don't think there's an English translation, and it's also on the PSP. So every time I want to actually double check on something and sort of experience its true form, I just can't because I'm restricted to the kind of technology that I have. And that's just really telling of our time because... Anyways, what am I talking about? So Masaomi, he's a doctor. He's a pediatrician, I'm pretty sure. He's not a creep or anything. These are the twins, by the way. They are apparently identical twins. They want Hikaru and Kaoru nachos so bad. Like, it's not even funny. And it's like, you guys are not identical. You guys are actually rip-offs of the hit TV show Diabolic Lovers. This is fucking Subaru and that's fucking Reiji. Like, you can't fool me. You cannot fool me. I may not have 20/20 vision, but I see through your fucking lies, okay? The second eldest is Ukiyo, like I said before. He is apparently an attorney, but the whole series, I barely see him do any work. I think it's only mentioned once that he's out of the house doing some lawyer shit, because most of the time he's just at home being a housewife. Like, he's cooking, he's cleaning, he's doing everything. He's got the apron on. He's not working from home, he's working at home. He looks like discount Nanami Kento, so I thought I was going to be attracted to him, but he's just really ugly to me, so I can't deal with it. But you know, it's cool that he's an attorney, and it's cool that he's always at home cooking for people. I need to stop flicking this around. Is this stimulating you? Is this my Subway Surfers stick? And by Subway Surfers stick, this is meant to keep your attention, okay? Now, the next brother I actually feel a little bit bad for, and it's like a Gossip Girl Dan and Serena situation where he knew Emma before he even knew that their parents were dating and we're gonna get engaged. Like, it's sad to see because that just sucks, you know. Basically, Yusuke, the brother who's basically in the same year as Emma, and the only one who I will accept having a crush on her, he's not even weird about the whole sister thing. He's completely like, oh my god, she's gonna be my stepsister, I want to kill myself, I want to die, why is this happening to me of all people? And you're like feeling for Yusuke because it's like, I'm sorry man, that sucks, that's like really bad luck, I'm sorry. Now back to Flop Tsubaki. I hate this man. He is a menace. He's hashtag turning that flirtatious meter up to 100. He's bumping that shit up. He's pretty, yeah, whatever, I don't give a shit. He's fucking weird, okay? This man is 24. These two are 24. Masaomi is 31. The third oldest brother, Kaname, this monk guy here that I will probably put a better picture on screen, hopefully for you. But Kaname, he is actually a monk. All I can think of is, why are you being so sexually motivated and so attracted to Miss Emma? I thought the point of being a monk was, specifically a Buddhist monk, was to rid yourself of worldly desire. Like, maybe I don't know anything about Buddhism and this is completely fine, so probably do my research further down the line. Kaname is questionable to me because he's weird. I can't just say he's weird because all of them are weird. He's weird. All of them are weird. Flop, flop, and flop, okay? Now, I know I said Tsubaki is diabolical, but the worst of the worst is Futo Asahina. This bitch over here, this bitch over here, okay? He needs jail time. Public enemy number 1. Get rid of him. If you see him on the streets, stay away from him. Alert, alert, alert. Stay high on alert because this man is dangerous. This man is dangerous. Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide everything. Futo is a pop star and he's evil. The first time Emma sees Futo, well, she already knows of him because he's like a famous pop star in Japan. They turn on the TV just to like watch his concert performance in silence, which is really funny. And one of the brothers, whose name is Iori, says, "Oh, I was wondering where he was. I haven't seen him in ages." Acting as if he isn't a literal fucking pop star. Like, what are you talking about? Acting as if he's not your literal brother. Just like call him, say, "Hey Fudo, where are you? What are you doing?" Like, check up on him. I'm sure his management team would allow him time to talk to his family, unless the Japanese entertainment scheme is much more sinister than I had thought. Also, to note, Futo is 15. If you were trying to write a 15-year-old, that's not a fucking 15-year-old. When I was 15, what was I doing when I was 15? Probably in fucking COVID, so I can't actually tell you like a serious response. I was watching fucking Among Us videos. That's what I was doing at fucking 15. If I was a pop star at 15, I still would probably be watching Among Us videos. I don't think if I was 15 or if someone was 15, they'd start creeping on their 17-year-old stepsister. Like, that's just weird. I don't condone it. So anyways, as they're watching Futo's performance in the living room, Futo's really shitty performance because I don't like him, Emma gets so disgusted with the performance that she feels sick. They put her to rest in her new room, and another brother comes in, and his name is Louis. His whole thing is that he's a hairdresser and that he's chill. He's literally just a chill guy. Louis is on that Zaza. He's literally on that Zaza. He is high as fuck. He's in the clouds. He is currently not in the same spatial dimension, astral plane, as we currently are. Louis is just here for the vibes. And he's also the brother that can understand this fucking squirrel. So because Emma's sick, she wakes up in the middle of the night, because who doesn't when they're sick? That is a factual statement. Like, I'm not judging her. I get up in the middle of the night when I'm sick. I get up in the middle of the night, period. But anyways, her plan is that she wants to take a bath. And the bath, I'm pretty sure is like upstairs or downstairs. It's not important. The bath, she wants to take one. She opens the bathroom and Subaru is there too. It's so awkward. It's so awkward. And then to top it all off, when she's leaving the bathroom, she overhears Azusa and Tsubaki talking very interesting topics.
When I'm with you, my heart races and my palms start sweating. Also, I don't really know why, but I get so upset when you're with other guys. What? I think I love you, and I want you to be mine.
Now, like I said before, they want Kaoru and Hikaru nachos so bad. They're on that fucking brotherly love bullshit. But nah, apparently they're voice actors and they were just doing some read-throughs of a script that they just recently got. It's still weird though, because Tsubaki is, Tsubaki does this.
It's about time we came out with the truth. Right, pussycat?
Now, to further my hatred of Futo, we finally get to meet him in episode 2, like in person, and he is just an asshole to her. She sees him for the first time and he's like, "Oh, you look like a fucking idiot. Are you an idiot?" Oh, well, I shouldn't be asking you that because idiots don't know that they're idiots now, do they? I don't want to listen to a child call me an idiot. And I'm just telling Emma, get out of that situation. I'm screaming at my screen going, Emma, you don't have to take that. You just need to leave. You just need to flick him in the forehead. He'll fly out that window right now. Other shenanigans that happen in episode 2 is that Louis passes out on the way to the couch. Apparently he was trying to take a little nap, but then he just didn't make it to the couch, so he just fell asleep on the floor. I told you that man is on the Zaza. He's high on the skies. He's not caring. He's not giving a fuck, and I respect it. I assume that the reason why him and the fucking squirrel can communicate is because he's reached peak levels of highness. So he's crossed some sort of wavelength in which he can talk to specifically this squirrel. I hate Futo with a visceral passion. All he does is berate her and try to assault her. I had to bring out the script for this because I need to read this word for word. Another brother, which I wouldn't really say I hate, but is definitely on the more creepy side of my list, is Hikaru. I'll probably use them interchangeably. He gets introduced to us and he, is presenting himself as a woman, as a more feminine person. And then Ukiyo says, Hikaru may be eccentric, but he is a man at heart. Now, I did some more research on the wiki, and apparently he cross-dresses for the sake of gathering materials, which is presumably him trying to understand the female perspective for this novel that he's writing, because he's a writer. I would classify him as probably one of the weirdest of the bunch because of what he does in the Christmas special, which I will soon get to, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. In episode 3, we finally get the wedding. Now, the wedding is the first time that we see Miss Diva over here, as well as Emma's dad, if I recall correctly. She's sweet, she's nice, and she tells Emma she can finally have the daughter that she's always wanted. All I can say is, how insane are these odds? How can you land on a boy 13 times in a row? Anyways, Emma goes off to check the reception area, but then she gets clocked by my fave, and arguably, because he's no different to the rest of the brothers, he still wants to have a relationship with Emma. One of the best characters in the series, Natsume Asahina. Now, the funny thing about Natsume is that his color scheme revolves around the color green. Do you know who else has a very green-centric inclination? It's none other than Mr. Lawrence Val of Aphmau fame. Now, she meets this Natsume guy for the first time because he doesn't actually live at the condos with them. And of course, Natsume doesn't realize that Emma was the new stepsister. And then, fun fact, they drop a little bit of a bomb on us. The twins are actually triplets. Yeah, Natsume is a triplet, but luckily he was a fraternal egg who Tsubaki says is from a different, less cool egg. They all finally introduce themselves to Emma, and the relationship of step-siblings has fully been sealed in the matrimony of their parents. I think a really interesting turning point in the season is when we find out that Emma is actually the adopted daughter of her dad, whose name is Rentaro, by the way, if you are interested. This information gets her really upset, making her question if her existence is even worth the trouble of caring about when her own birth parents abandoned her. Her parents actually died, sadly, but we find that out later. I like that we get more insight into Emma here because, yes, I would like to get to know more about our protagonist, thank you very much. Because she finds out that she's adopted, she ends up running away, or more like just not coming home to the condos. So everyone obviously starts looking for her, and the person who actually finds her is none other than Natsume. She still doesn't want to go back home, so he offers for her to stay at his apartment for the night. At the apartment, he actually does a really great job of like consoling her, but then he brings his own feelings into the mix, and he kisses her.
Why else would my dad never say anything to me about this? Even worse, ever since he married your mother, I don't know why, but he hasn't come to see me at all. So it's him too. I'm not even worth the trouble to my own father.
Hold on. You're wrong, you know. All of us are lucky to be around you. Stay here. You don't have to go home.
By the way, at this point in the series, half the brothers have just kissed her. No consent, just vibes. Also, I don't want to keep bringing up age, but I will keep bringing up age. Natsume is 24, Emma is 17. In this episode where we find out that Emma is adopted, we also find out that another one of the brothers is actually adopted. And it's Louis. Louis the adopted one. Natsume is great at consoling her, but you know who's even better? Louis. He's like, I know exactly how you feel. I was really confused when I found out that I was adopted. Growing up, it was hard because, you feel like a disconnect with everyone. And I'm like, oh, Louis, that's a great insight. That's some great insight that you gave to Emma. And Louis is great because I think he genuinely just wants to look out for her and take care of her as a brother. Now, that's in the anime. I don't know if the books are any different. I don't know if the game is any different. That's why Natsume may be my fave, but Louis is truly the bestest, okay? I would do an Abby Lee Dance Moms-esque pyramid again, but I feel because of how almost all of the brothers make me want to walk directly into the ocean. I will list you my personal faves. Louis, once again, because he actually cares about her like a sister. Yusuke, because I just feel bad for him. Like, he did not ask for her to become his stepsister. All he wanted was to start a relationship with this girl in a non-sibling way he liked this girl before any of this shit went down, okay? Natsume, because he's actually really level-headed, he has some sense, and possibly Masaomi, just because like he doesn't give off any creepy vibes to Emma. Dr. House would fucking hate Masaomi, let's just say that. Another striking episode within the season is episode 10. This episode centers around a festival that Kaname's shrine is hosting. I just love the wholesome aspect of going on a road trip and staying over at some random place with your family. Like, of course, ignoring the fact that most, if not all of the brothers here want Emma, okay? They also have this thing called Club Buddha. That's this thing right here. Now, Club Buddha is what I assume is a hosting job that they do during the festival to raise funds or something like that. Last time I assumed something was a hosting job, I was incorrect, okay? People were nice enough to correct me, so if I am wrong, please don't hesitate in the comments, leave a comment. I just want to put a strong emphasis on the word hosting, because if the monks were doing a little bit more, I don't know if they should even be considered monks anymore. But once again, I don't know anything about Buddhism, okay? Maybe in Buddhism, sexual acts aren't stigmatized at all, and monks can just do whatever the hell they want. Fair enough. But pause. I did some research. So the research that I did was very minimal. I did a quick Google search and it told me that all Buddhist monks should be celibate. But also, I clicked a Reddit post and someone replied saying that all monks except Japanese ones are celibate. So then I went into a tiny spiral about Buddhist monks, specifically in Japan, and I found out, according to a reply from Reddit poster I can't say it, I'm sorry, but I'll link all of these sources in the description. Japanese Buddhism has clergy that are not required to take celibacy vows but do take some other vows and receive additional training to distinguish them from laity. So I guess Kaname and the other monks at Club Buddha are fine in terms of the way Japanese Buddhism works. Or I could be completely wrong. Like, once again, this is very, very minimal research, so don't take my word for it. Now back to the topic at hand. The family, consisting of Hikaru, Emma, Natsume, and Azusa in one car, and Masaomi, Ukiyo, Subaru, and Wataru in the other, go out to the mountains for this festival. If you're wondering where they're staying, it's at this holiday house that they have, because once again they're loaded. In Natsume's car, things get a little bit funny because Hikaru is a menace and decides to ask Emma questions like, when you stayed over at Natsume's that one time, did anything happen? And when you visited Azusa at the hospital, did anything happen between you and Azusa? Yes, Azusa was in the hospital. He got diagnosed with meningitis. It was a whole thing. I actually was not interested. It was very dramatic though.
What exactly do you think you're doing?
Azusa, why don't you mind your own business?
Listen to me.
What is it with you, man? What's your deal? Why do you act all weird when it comes to her? Why are you so protective? Maybe you want the same thing I do. You're just too damn scared to admit it.
I'm trying to help. Can't you?
Azusa.
Leave her be.
Some context, yes, something did happen between them. Azusa kissed her. These questions have the boys spitting out coffee, almost causing car crashes, and it just creates a whole silly vibe. Hikaru is truly the biggest menace out of them all. He is the op to all of his brothers. Also, Emma accidentally left Julie at the apartments. How do you forget your pet squirrel? We also find out that Futo holds a concert at the festival, and then we meet two other perverted monks that are part of Club Buddha. At the end of the episode, the family actually finds the site where her biological parents were buried, and they pay a little visit. This is the nicest, sweetest thing they have ever done for this girl. So now onto the Christmas special, which is probably the best OVA. There are two OVAs plus the special episode, which I actually like the special episode. The two OVAs consist of the Valentine's Day OVA, which I found completely boring. It's a bit funny, but it's still boring. And the Christmas special OVA, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Now, the Christmas special, it's just another family trip, but instead it's to, I forgot what place, but they're doing a snow trip. And it's fun, it's great. Emma doesn't know how to ski, doesn't know how to snowboard. Basically, the main issue of this episode is that Yusuke gets so overconfident and so possessive of Emma's time that he decides to take her up on like a black diamond run on top of a snowstorm. They try and get down the mountain. It's very scary. I would shit myself if I was in Emma's position. I would just accept my fate. And Yusuke is like, okay, Emma, you need to stay close to me because this is really dangerous. We'll go slow, just stay close to me. It's gonna be hard to hear each other because, you know, this is a snowstorm. And I'm just freaking out for Emma over here. So eventually she does get lost and she loses sight of Yusuke. She hits a tree and she passes out. Thank God. Oops. Turn that on. Thank God for Kaname. Kaname somehow managed to get her, find her, pick her up, and snowboard down the mountain with her. Kaname, you have all my respect in that aspect. She comes back with a sprained ankle, but she's okay. Fuck Yusuke. Okay, Yusuke, I was rooting for you, but you're a bit insensitive, so therefore I'm putting you in timeout. Also, Futo has another concert here, so the brothers are like, oh, okay, we're gonna go ahead and go to Futo's concert to support him. We would have liked for you to come, but you know, you're in no state to go to a concert. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. Because the family's out, Emma decides to try her hand at the family's private onsen, and it's really nice. She's like enjoying it. She's really relaxed until someone walks in and she's like, what the fuck? I thought everyone is out. I thought this was a family only onsen. What is happening right now? No, not everyone is out. Hikaru is here. He is present and he is walking in and they're both naked and it's weird and it's like, oh my God, Emma, you need to get out of that area now. You need to get out of here fast. He just walks in. He takes a seat. It's really weird. Like he doesn't say much, if anything at all. She has to leave and she's like obviously embarrassed. Is that not like creepy? That's why I said before, I was like, this interaction alone, that's fucking weird. No, he goes right up on my creepy list. He just stares at her in the onsen and you're like, it's actually disturbing. When Emma goes out of the onsen to the elevator, she once again gets caught by Futo and he's like, you missed my concert. I missed you a lot. I am going to assault you now. But luckily Hikaru takes a photo of them about to kiss and he like threatens Futo saying, oh, I'm gonna use this as blackmail and you're gonna be dropped by a company. You're gonna flop and flop. I don't know how to feel because you helped my girl get out of this assault, but you still assaulted her. Like, what the fuck's going on? So yeah, that was the Christmas special. If you ignore the end bit, the Christmas special can be a little bit fun, silly, and great. The other silly episode, the special episode, not the OVA, and I won't be talking the Valentine's one because I just honestly did not really enjoy it as much. Maybe because Natsume wasn't in the Valentine's Day special. He was in the ski trip and I enjoyed his presence. He was really nice and he was nonchalant and he was great. But Natsume is actually in the special episode. Now the special episode story follows Emma getting a gift from her dad, which is like this magical lamp thing, and they're like, oh well, if you get a lamp you have to rub it, you know. They rub the lamp and they're like, oh, nothing happens. Something does happen. Julie gets turned into his human form and becomes a genie, and they have 3 wishes, and the first wish is used on Yusuke, who wishes for a hamburger steak because he's an idiot. And so when they find out this genie shit is legit, they're like, oh my God, we need to take this shit seriously. We need to think about a wish that we all want and we will vote on the wish that we will use. And everyone just wishes to be with Emma. These idiots aren't thinking about, oh, I wish for 1,000,000 more wishes. Like, why don't we just do that? The genie didn't say he had any limitations. Okay, I didn't sign no contract. Just wish for that. They asked Subaru first. They're like, oh, Subaru, what do you want to wish for? And they're all flustered because they just started having dreams about being with Emma. Subaru is so flustered to the point that he's like, I need water. And that registers as a wish. That's the second wish gone. And so all of these guys start crashing out and they're like, no, I want the wish. I want the wish. I deserve the wish. Give me the wish. And then Emma is like, oh my God, I hate fighting. I can't do this. So she goes up to Julie, or like the genie, and is like, I wish for this to stop more than anything. And then everything returns back to normal. And then yeah, that's the end of the episode. It's great. That's the best episode of the season. All of the weird stuff happens in their minds, in their dreams, so at least they didn't, enact it upon her, which is great. Sadly, Flop Tsubaki was there and Flop Azusa was there, but my King Natsume was there and Flop Futo was also there. Yeah, we can't win them all, okay?
Mate, like, you're 20. This chick's like what, 17? Stop it. I'm all for age gaps, but this girl is 17. Mate, let's worry about your car dealership name. Go away, please. All of them, in fact.
I've been sitting on my floor for like the past 2 hours. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Talking about this anime is just so funny because I enjoyed this anime because of its ridiculousness. Diabolic Lovers was fun, but it took itself too seriously. Brothers Conflict, it's ridiculous. That's the only way I can describe it. And it's conflicting in the sense that it's this thing where the brothers always say, I love you. And then she just says back, of course we love each other. We're family. Lord have mercy. Emma, come on. You can't be that silly. Emma, you need to leave. You need to leave the compound. You need to leave the premises. You need to tell your mother, your father about this behavior that is happening in this household. That's all I have to say, I think. Once again, I enjoyed making this video. I'm happy for all the love and support that you guys have been giving me. In the short time that I have decided to start making videos, this is all fun, and I just hope that I can continue making it at the pace that I am right now. Well, currently I am on holiday, so I have a lot of time to kill, and I currently am unemployed, but we don't talk about that. If you wanted to know how the AFMAO Season 2 video is going, it's going, okay? The script is currently going. It's underway. It will be out soon. I don't want to give you concrete dates. I don't want to give you weeks or numbers or whatever, because I'm scared that if I do, I'll go over, I'll go under. It's just, I can't be bothered to ballpark it, so it will come out soon. Hopefully after this video though. Thank you so much for watching. I thoroughly appreciate you.